Hello and welcome. I'm Ijoma Bunyato. Tonight, Benue leaders meet President Muhammadu Buhari over killings by herdsmen, insist they have no land to set up colonies for herders. The Vice President Yemi Osinbajo denies ignoring warnings on herdsman attack, says comment linked to Governor Samuel Ortom is false and misleading. Nigerians today remember their fallen heroes as the country commemorates the 2018 Armed Forces Remembrance Day, more than 50 years after the Civil War. And African leaders protest President Donald Trump's derogatory comments about Africans. And on business news tonight, U.S. research firm Gallup International Survey lists Nigeria as the world's most economically optimistic country for 2018.
For sports news, 2017 Australian Open finalist Venus Williams bows out on the first hurdle in Melbourne.
And from Abuja, 2 killed, several others injured in a gas station explosion that rocked Magodo area of Lagos.
We begin tonight with the visit of traditional and political leaders from Benue State to the President at the Villa today to discuss the security situation in the state following the New Year Day killings by herdsmen. Governor Samuel Ortom, who led a team that thanked the President for the relative calm that's returned to Benue State. He's also confident that President Buhari will fulfill his promise of apprehending and bringing to book those behind the killings in Benue. Governor Ortom also told the President that Benue State does not have land for the proposed colonies. The President, however, wants them to exercise restraint while giving them the assurance that all the perpetrators of violence in the state will be brought to justice. Those present at the meeting include the former Senate President David Mark, Minister of Agriculture Adwogbe, former Governor George Akume, and Senator Barnabas Jemade, among others.
The President renewed his directive to the IG in our presence that those who are perpetuating this should be arrested and prosecuted. There are many options that are put on the table. Like I told you the last time I came here, I did not understood what colonies was. Today I was privileged to sit with him, and he did explain to me that a colony is about many ranches put in one place, restricted in one place, where the land is. So for us in Benue State, there is no 10 hectares. They are looking for 5,000 hectares. For us in Benue State, we have no 10 hectares to allow it for that kind of a thing to take place. So people are free. Other states have the land. We in Benue State, we don't have, and that was what led to us enacting this law.
Meanwhile, the Vice President is not happy with comments credited to the Governor of Benue State that he allegedly warned the presidency about the inhumane killings by herdsmen in Logo and Guma local government areas of Benue State. Professor Yemi Osinbajo describes the comments as false and misleading. A statement from the Senior Special Assistant to the Vice President on Media and Publicity, Laulu Akonde, says, quote, "Although the Vice President, Professor Osinbajo, does not believe that the Governor could ever have said so, it will be a terrible falsehood to suggest that the VP was ever informed by the Governor or anyone else of the imminent killing of citizens of our country in those or any other local governments in Benue State." End of quote. The statement explains that the Governor only wrote to the Vice President when he was acting President on June the 7th, 2017, protesting a newspaper publication where the leadership of the Miyetti Allah was reported to have kicked against the anti-open grazing law. He also explained that the Vice President held several meetings with Governor Ortom and other state governors on the security situation in their states, and specifically ordered law enforcement agencies to be on the alert to prevent any attacks or violence in Benue State in June last year. Now, survivors of the New Day attack in Benue State, where more than 70 persons were killed, have been speaking on their near-death encounter with killer herdsmen who robbed and looted their food barns. The stories are similar among survivors at the Daudu IDP camp, where the National Emergency Management Agency relief items have been delivered, along with a 100 million naira release by the Benue state government to cushion the effect of the crisis.
Sangif community in Guma local government came under attack by herdsmen on the 1st of January 2018, killing over 20 persons, including 6 livestock guards. In Guma alone, over 10 communities were sacked and the killing continued, leading to the displacement of these IDPs in Daudu. The Benue State Emergency Management Agency had been profiling the over 60,000 people with help from civil societies, coordinating 8 efforts in 5 thematic areas.
Initially, people came out over 80,000. I said that before. But with the improvement in security, some people are going back. That is the report we are receiving. So we have over 60,000.
We are looking for children that are undernourished, and we are teaching them how to be healthy. Environmental aspects, water and sanitation.
Shapira Yuvaku, a 50-year-old, narrates his near-cut throat experience in the hands of herdsmen to Channels Television.
I personally standing here. They hold me. One of them even removed a knife upon me to kill me. With a certain driver that I took him to go and carry my belongings. They did, after they do this thing, they search us and they said we should give them our set, give the money we have.
Addressing the IDPs who are now camped in 5 centers across the state, Governor Autumn announced the release of 100 million naira to ease their displacement.
The officials of NEMA are on ground to do their preliminary assessment of the situation on ground, and thereafter I believe that more of the materials will come. But from the Benue state government, we have already released the sum of 100 million naira to ensure that essential materials are provided for this IDP's camp.
Although help has come from the National Emergency Management Agency and the Benue State government, basic health and food challenges remain a major concern in the management of the IDPs.
Away from security to today's Armed Forces Remembrance, and President Muhammadu Buhari accompanied service chiefs, other top officials of the nation's security and government agencies, and today laid wreaths at the tomb of the unknown soldier in Abuja. The annual event, which holds at the Remembrance Arcade, is in honor of members of the armed forces who lost their lives during the World Wars, Nigeria's civil war, and other security operations within and outside the country. Our correspondent Ibrahim Adra reports.
Members of the armed forces mount a guard of honor for the special guest and Commander-in-Chief, President Muhammadu Buhari. Then the solemn moment, as the country literally stood still to remember its fallen heroes. Prayers were offered for the departed, those left behind, and the nation at large. The wreaths were laid at the foot of the unknown soldier, with President Buhari leading the way. That task completed, the president signed a celebration register and released the pigeon signifying freedom, unity, peace and hope. Clad in black and observing the military rituals with grim faces are the widows left behind. One of them is Mary Alechanu, said to be the youngest of them. She lost her husband in 2015 during a Boko Haram attack.
I miss him a lot.
It's finance. Like to start our younger one like this, our little sister now. She needs to start something for herself to make a living, to take care of her little boy.
For Mary and others who lost loved ones to the cold hand of death while serving their fatherland, no assistance can be too much. Ibrahim Adra, Channels Television News.
And in other parts of the country, the Armed Forces Remembrance Day was observed with many state governors as well as top military personnel laying wreaths in honor of the fallen heroes. They followed the dictates of the day with the march past, 21-gun salute and the inspection of the Guard of Honor. The governors used the opportunity to commend the military for its service to the nation and honored soldiers fallen in the line of duty.
The governor of Anambra State, Willie Obiano, mounts the podium at Dr. Alex Ekweme Square, Awka, inspects the Guard of Honor, all part of honoring the armed forces on the occasion of Armed Forces Remembrance Day. He lays the wreath in honor of Nigeria's fallen heroes.
This is a day set aside for us to appreciate the services of these great people that have put their lives on the line so that we will live.
It's called the Neutral Slow March. And the governor of Enugu State, Ifeanyi Ogwuanyi, acquits himself well with those alongside, in step to the tune of the military band. These three officers, heads bowed in prayer, in honor of their comrades slain from times past. The governor of Delta State, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, with top military brass, doing the honors.
We are here remembering our fallen heroes, those who fought in the various world wars and the Nigerian Civil War. We don't want those experiences again.
That's how the deputy governor of Cross River State put it, as he represented Governor Ben Ayade in the military formalities of the day. The River State governor takes the opportunity to outline support for the armed forces of Nigeria.
On our part, we shall, as a state government, continue to support the effort of the federal government to ensure that our armed forces are strong, well-trained and motivated enough to defend and preserve our unity.
In the northwest, the governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, does likewise, underscoring the importance of the armed forces.
We have to all join in praying for the departed and continue to encourage our military to do its best.
This eulogy on the cenotaph in Kano State says it all. The serving military, also held in high esteem, conducts the ceremony. Governor Abdullahi Ganduje follows the protocol.
This particular ceremony is to emphasize peace and stability and also remember our fallen heroes, not only those who fought the civil war in Nigeria, but also those who fought for the First and Second World Wars.
In Plateau State, the military are also honored. Yobe State is not left out. In Lagos State, the ceremony is also observed. And in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, the governor, Ibikula Musun, hinted that selfless service and mutual respect have been underscored as vital ingredients for lasting peace and the unity of Nigeria at the 2018 Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration.
The lesson to take away from here is the selfless service that some people have rendered. And it's a challenge to those of us that are here. We should embrace them. We should get them more entrenched in what we are doing, our activities, all of this empowerment programs, several programs that we are doing.
The Armed Forces Remembrance Day is an annual event, and one which reminds the nation of the service of her military men and women, and the sacrifice of those that fell in the line of duty, a generational testimony of the pillars of nationhood.
In part 2, after the break, we'll continue with our focus on the commemoration of the Armed Forces Remembrance, and we'll be joined by a retired Major General Cecil Esekaigbe to look at the role of the military in nation building. That's in a moment. Please stay with us.